Hi, this is Janet Fitzgerald, intuitive healer, psychic, and let's say life coach. And by life coach, I mean I go back in time over your life with you, and we dissolve and correct or heal, whatever verbiage you like, the past trauma situations, things that you were taught, saw, felt, agreed with, learned, and now has become a part of who you are. And you'll see this in situations where you may say, I don't do that. I don't like to go swimming. I don't like to get wet. I don't like dancing. I don't like to travel. I don't like airplanes. I don't like people who lie. I don't like people who are aggressive. I don't like people who are weak. I don't like men or women who are aggressive. Whatever it is, guess what? You learned that by observation, by feeling the person who's having these feelings. You're feeling this too as you're growing up within the environment you're growing up in. And so this all becomes a part of you, because if it looks and feels distasteful to someone that you're with in the family unit, then guess what? As a child, you're going to create that within yourself, how you are perceiving it from your standpoint in that family. So it's not that complicated. It may sound complicated, but these are all learned things. Why we won't do things, even why we won't eat certain things or drink certain things, or why we feel deprived if we feel like we have to eat healthy. And even when we're faced with an illness and they say you can reverse this by eating properly, by eating this way. And there's a part of it that says, no, I am not going to give this up. This is all I have in my life. Well, again, that is learned, because it doesn't make sense, does it? So that's where I come in, and we go back to those. If you see it as a timeline and you go back and you see those moments, which is where we go, and we see what exactly that at age 4 you learned this, and it became a part of you, and you never ever questioned it, because why would you question it? It felt so real, and what feels real we turn into real, and it turns into who we are. So now we don't have to think about that ever again. It just becomes a part of our subconscious reality. And our subconscious minds, as most of you probably know if you're listening to this, it runs our life. So if we're in a situation and we were taught that we don't like weak people, and we're around somebody who is showing feelings, usually most of the time, this is a female to a male. So if a male is crying and a female has been taught that men who cry are weak, then what we will do is we will look at them and feel this distasteful feeling coming up, like, oh, he's weak. Why would I want somebody like that who's not strong and can take care of me and be. And this also leads to that syndrome of women love the tough guy, the cowboy, the guy who is strong. But on the other hand, it's a conundrum, because you want someone who's sensitive and loving and caring. And for some reason, we can't see that in the whole package. It has to be either or. And this is just one little snippet. I'm not saying that this is it. This is just one little snippet of stuff I've worked with people. And it's interesting because they'll never be able to get into a relationship with someone if you have all these ideas about what someone should be. And if they show one sign of that, just one sign of that idea of what you think is a weakness or horrible or distasteful or whatever it is, that starts you down a road of looking for other things that are wrong with this person. And then eventually you can't stand it. So without that being the prominent thing you argue about, or your marriage or relationship starts deteriorating around, you start picking other things. So these other things have nothing to do with the real problem in your marriage or your relationship. It's really what that little kid inside doesn't like, and she saw that one piece of that person. And it could be 2 or 3 pieces. But remember, I'm telling you, it's what we learned. It's not who we are. We are loving beings, and when we're little, we love everyone. We don't judge or question anything until we're taught to do so. Until we're taught to do so. And again, this is not about blaming the parents or anyone who brought us up or society. It's just what it is. And so now, if we don't ever question those things that we think and do every day, then we stay the same. So why not question it? If you can't find the right person, if your relationships are not what you want them to be, if you're feeling bad about yourself, if you can't find someone, it doesn't matter what the situation is. If you can't find the job, the career, that get up and go in you, maybe you feel like you can't compete with anyone, or you're too old, or you're too young, or you're too fat, or you're too skinny, or you're too whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, because it's what you were taught to think and feel about yourself on some level of society, home-based, what people have said and you've overheard, and you've decided for yourself that this is who I am. It's not who you are. I will say, and I'll say it safely, 70% of who you are, you think you are, is not who you really are. Let that sink in. Most of who you think you are, someone has said, or you have watched, or you have learned, or felt and agreed with on some level, and now you've made up this personality, this being of who you call yourself, and yet you've lost who you truly are. If this is you, then it's time to question. It's time to go back and just let's deal with those little timelines, those spots in our lives that are frozen in time and dictate who we are. It's not hard. It's not magic. It's just something that we have to go back and correct the way we see, feel, and hear what that little child in us, the little inner child, is seeing. You'll understand more if you sit with me or come to one of my retreats. You will love it. You will love the whole base of it, the feeling of when it's released. It's just a wonderful thing. I've done it in my life. I've done it with my clients, and I will tell you, it is very powerful. And when you come to the retreats, if you do that, you're with people who are all here for the same reason you are. And I know people sometimes go, they don't want to do this. Believe me, it is a wonderful, wonderful experience. I make sure it is. We have a laugh. You have your time. Or come to me in private if you truly just can't do that. But this is us questioning the things that we don't like about ourselves, or we think we can't do or never do, because it's not true. You can. It's just that little thing that's holding you back, and we just need to pluck it out, change it. So this is Janet, and you can contact me at jvfitzgerald9@cox.net. And you can also get me at 623-451-0341. I do phone sessions as well if I'm not in your area. Try it. What have you got to lose? Thank you. God bless.